Several new developments in south suburban Dolton today. First, the state comptroller has suspended some payments to the village because it has failed to follow the law by providing financial reports.
You could feel the anger tonight at a Board of Trustees meeting in Thornton Township. The board and citizens looking for accountability to their finances, while the township supervisor.
Did you hear the latest about Tiffany Henyard? It seems like every day there's a new twist in the scandal surrounding the Dolton mayor and Thornton Township Supervisor. And let's be honest, it's a juicy story that's got everyone talking. We're talking about alleged corruption, misuse of taxpayer funds, high-stakes drama, and now an FBI investigation. It's like a real-life soap opera playing out in the political world, and today we're diving into all the shocking details.
Is there a motion to terminate Keith Freeman?
So who exactly is Tiffany Henyard, and why is everyone suddenly obsessed with her every move? Henyard, once the rising star of Dolton, Illinois, has been under fire recently, accused of living a life of luxury on the taxpayer's dime. Elected in 2021, Henyard's tenure as mayor has been marred by controversy after controversy, with accusations ranging from lavish spending to outright corruption. But the heat really turned up when she started making waves in Thornton Township, where she also serves as supervisor. Her bold approach to leadership, or should we say, her aggressive tactics, has been called into question by more than a few people. And things have only gotten worse since a series of investigations revealed just how far Henyard might have gone to maintain her so-called super mayor status.
Coming in, unfortunately, we knew it was going to be a little messy, but it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. But like I said, you have just some accountability.
Let's rewind to that infamous special meeting of one that everyone's been talking about. Henyard called this meeting herself after Thornton Township trustees tried to limit her spending and tighten up credit card policies. But here's the kicker, none of the trustees showed up. Imagine that, a meeting with just Henyard, who turned it into a solo performance where she slammed the trustees, accusing them of trying to sabotage her administration. "This is me making my statement," she said, with all the flair of a reality TV star. If you guys do not want to hear this, there's the door. Drama, right? It was like she was speaking directly to her critics, daring them to challenge her authority.
I am about to address some things as the supervisor. There will be no comments, there won't be anything. It'll just be me addressing you guys and telling you what's going on.
But what really set tongues wagging was the sheer audacity of her spending. We're talking about tens of thousands of dollars billed to township credit cards for trips first class, flights, high-end hotels, and even some eyebrow-raising Amazon purchases. How about a casual $43,000 on Amazon in one day? Yes, you heard that right, one day. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Henyard's critics claim she's been using township funds like her personal piggy bank.
Who would make a one-day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon? And the main thing is, what is it?
Former assistant turned whistleblower Carmen Carlisle didn't hold back, calling Henyard's behavior unethical and predatory. She described how Henyard manipulated employees, vendors, and residents to expand her influence, all while projecting an image of a successful leader. But according to Carlisle, that image was nothing more than a facade, funded by hardworking taxpayers.
Sometimes we get invoices, but those invoices lead to more questions, and sometimes we don't get answers to those questions. And so it's not about clickbait, it's about just making sure the right thing is.
Carlisle, once considered a close ally, decided to break her silence, accusing Henyard of using township funds for her own benefit and retaliating against anyone who dared to question her authority. "I am standing up not just for myself, but for others who have been affected by what I see as Henyard's abusive leadership," Carlisle said, clearly fed up with the drama. The two even clashed publicly during a special meeting, where Henyard mockingly dubbed her former ally Lying Carlisle. It was a fiery exchange, the kind you'd expect from a primetime drama, not a township board meeting. But why all the drama over a few credit card charges? Well, it goes deeper than that. Henyard's actions have drawn the attention of not just local authorities, but the FBI. Yes, the big guns are involved now. They're looking into her spending habits, her handling of township funds, and even the way she's used her power to shut down opposition. It's no wonder they're calling her the Dolton dictator. And just to add a bit more spice to this scandalous mix, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot has been brought in as a special investigator to dig deep into Henyard's dealings. It's like the ultimate political showdown, two powerful women, both with something to prove, but only one will come out on top.
Hey guys, this is Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the People's Mayor and People's Supervisor.
And let's not forget about that controversial foundation Henyard claims isn't even hers. The Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation, supposedly set up to support cancer patients, has come under intense scrutiny. Records show that the foundation was chartered the same day the township board voted to give it a $10,000 donation. And just a month later, Henyard organized a 10-day walk and bike ride across the state, supposedly to raise awareness for a breast cancer bill. But guess what? The trip cost $11,000, charged to the Dolton credit card, covering hotels, restaurants, photographers, and DJs. The kicker? That breast cancer bill was never even filed. Henyard has denied that the foundation is hers, but with her fingerprints all over it, who's really buying that?
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
Then there's the mysterious case of Deputy Police Chief Louis Lacey. A close ally of Henyard, Lacey was recently indicted on charges of bankruptcy fraud. The indictment accuses Lacey of hiding assets and income to avoid paying a settlement tied to a past lawsuit. Sounds like someone's been taking lessons from Henyard on how to play fast and loose with the rules. And here's where it gets even juicier. Lacey was reportedly reinstated by Henyard despite his indictment and the fact that he's been put on administrative leave by the trustees. Why would Henyard bring back a disgraced deputy chief? Well, some say it's because she needs all the allies she can get right now. After all, when the FBI is breathing down your neck, it's good to have friends in high places, or in this case, in the police department.
Mayor Henyard fired her chief of police late last year without any approval from the village board. So now Robert Collins has filed a lawsuit against the village.
Meanwhile, the village of Dolton is in financial freefall. Henyard's lavish spending habits have left the village's finances in shambles, turning a multi-million-dollar surplus into a staggering $3.65 million debt. The Illinois comptroller even froze payments to Dolton due to overdue audits and questionable financial practices. But Henyard, ever defiant, blames everyone but herself. She's pointed fingers at the media, at her fellow trustees, and even at her critics, calling the whole thing a witch hunt against a strong Black woman in power. Sound familiar? It's a narrative we've heard before, but this time the stakes are much higher.
So that's one of the reasons I vote no when we go through our board packets. It's like, some of this stuff, it's like you don't know exactly what it's for, and then when you ask a question, there's no answer.
And it's not just about the money. Henyard's leadership style, or lack thereof, has come under fire. At a recent board meeting, residents voiced their frustrations, accusing her of failing to address their concerns and, worse, retaliating against those who dared to speak out. You're not accountable, you don't respect people who don't agree with you. You're not qualified for that seat, one resident shouted during a particularly heated exchange. It's clear the people of Dolton are fed up. They're calling for her resignation, demanding transparency, and some are even hoping for a criminal indictment. As the drama unfolds, Henyard seems to be doubling down. She's refused to cooperate with investigators, blocked efforts to hire an independent auditor, and vetoed the board's attempts to hire Lightfoot as a special investigator. It's almost as if she's daring her critics to come after her. Stop playing these silly games, she told police officers during an emergency meeting. But who's really playing games here? Henyard's tactics are straight out of a political playbook designed to consolidate power and silence opposition. But with the FBI on her tail, she might be running out of time.
One way that the government always does it is to go and investigate people around her, and that's what they're doing here.
In a town meeting that quickly descended into chaos, Henyard used a golden microphone to address her constituents, a move that many saw as both audacious and tone-deaf. She railed against the media, calling their reports fake news and accusing them of trying to take down a Black woman in power. But this isn't just about race or gender, it's about power and how far one person will go to hold on to it, and as more details emerge, it seems like Henyard might have gone too far.
I'm sure you guys had an awesome time on the backs of taxpayers, but what do we gain from any of these trips? We gain nothing.
There are also whispers about an alleged misconduct involving one of Henyard's allies during a Las Vegas trip, where the victim claims to have been fired after speaking out. It's another layer of scandal in a story that's already brimming with intrigue. The allegations, the denials, the public spats, it all feels like a house of cards, just waiting for the right moment to collapse. As this scandal continues to unravel, it's becoming clear that Henyard's days of ruling Dolton, like her personal fiefdom, might be numbered. The FBI is digging deep, and former Mayor Lightfoot is determined to get to the bottom of things, promising a thorough investigation that could reveal even more shocking details. And with residents up in arms demanding accountability and transparency, Henyard's once firm grip on power seems to be slipping.
But the administration can adhere to some financial limits. We're not looking to necessarily...
So, what's next for Tiffany Henyard? Will she fight her way out of this scandal? Or is this the beginning of the end for Dolton's self-proclaimed super mayor? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. With every new twist and turn, it's becoming clear that Henyard is a figure as complex as she is controversial. She's a woman who came to power on promises of change, but now stands accused of betraying the very people who put her there. As the investigations continue and more details come to light, one can only wonder how much longer she can hold on to her throne. The scandal surrounding Tiffany Henyard has certainly caught the attention of the public, and fans have been vocal about their opinions on her actions in the ongoing investigations. One fan commented she won't see the inside of a jail cell. The entire state is corrupt where they would have done something by now. Another fan drew an interesting comparison, saying Tiffany Henyard is like a bad wife that goes through her husband's bank account with no consideration to her marriage or her children. This vivid analogy paints Henyard as someone who is recklessly spending without any regard for the people she's supposed to serve, the taxpayers. It's a harsh critique that captures the anger of those who feel betrayed by her actions. So what do you think, folks? Is Tiffany Henyard just a misunderstood leader fighting against a corrupt system, or is she really the Dolton dictator who has betrayed her community? Will she manage to wiggle her way out of these accusations, or is she finally facing the consequences of her actions? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning.